Hello. Hi, everyone. How's it going? Welcome to Heat Pedal to the Metal. Hopefully, I'm coming through okay. There's a bit more of a delay. Going from the countdown, there's a bit more of a delay than usual in this, but we'll catch up eventually, won't we? Hey, James, Shiffy, Matt, how's it going? Hopefully, you can hear me and all that. Oh, actually, the mic might sound a bit strange. Hang on a sec. Rach has been in a playthrough that should be coming up next week, I think. Next week on Patreon, the week after that on the normal channel. It's going to be cool. And there's some story time with Rach in the Aeon Trespass playthrough that'll be going up soon. We have actual Marty in the house, ready for the starting of a new racing season. This was supposed to happen like at the start of February. It's ages after that now. But yeah, my voice ran off for a bit and everything got messed up. But we're here now and it's time to kick off this season. So Marty is back as he was last time. He's sponsoring the grey car, of course, and I feel like last time, not in the championship, but in the other playthrough that we did, yeah, the grey car just absolutely demolished everyone else. So we are playing a championship in Heat Pedal to the Metal that I think is like, it's getting reprinted or it's like arriving soon, I think. Been out of print for a while, hasn't it? I think copies are like appearing and then disappearing still at the moment, but hopefully, eventually, it'll turn up, won't it? So yes, the championship mode is kind of everything turned on. So we've got special events for the race, we've got weather, we've got special tiles on all of the corners and stuff. I know not right now. There are photographers to impress by going around the corner, but the reason that we can't see a load of these things is that first we've got to pick some starting cards and then the rest will all fall into place. I hope, and hopefully we'll get a nice start in this first race. I have started fifth place, just randomly in the very first race. We get given our positions, so hopefully we can make something good out of that. There's 3 laps in the Italy race. And oh yeah, thanks James. There are links in the chat in the description for ways to support the channel if you'd like to, and you can. There's patreon.com/slickerdrips. There is ko-fi.com/slickerdrips. And yeah, so every little helps and your support would be massively appreciated and is the reason that I can do this still. So yeah, it would be a massive help. Oh, thank you, Aaron. I've just noticed the name has changed in the recent patrons on the screen. It's not changed in this bit that's supposed to tell me when things happen, but the bit on screen is changing. So there's that, isn't there? Right, so what do we need to do? The first thing is your starting upgrades. So one of the things that changes, all your basic upgrades and stuff that you get in the standard game of Heat, all that's gone. We've just got the standard cards in our deck. Added to that is going to be 1 upgrade card of our choice, and then we are going to get 2 random sponsorship cards that are one and done. We might earn more if we impress these photographers, but we have got the choice of RPM. This is a bit of a random one. It's kind of like the stress that when we play it, we don't know how far it's going to move, as we're going to draw a card and find out how far we're going to move. But if we manage to draft past someone, we go 3 extra spaces. Check the back of my rule book, make sure I'm not talking rubbish. Slipstream boost, use the right terminology. Yeah, if you choose to slipstream, you can go 3 extra spaces. So we could do massive slipstreams if we did that. Suspension, we only move 1 space, but we could put this back on top of our deck at the end of the react step. And if we choose to slipstream, we can go 1 bit extra. The brakes, we can either choose to move 1 or 5, so good flexibility in them. And the tyres, they'd move us 3. They adjust the speed limit of the corner that we're going, so the speed limit is 1 lower. So it actually makes the corner a little bit harder, but it does give us 2 cooldown as well, so it helps us get rid of some of that heat. Now, we don't, I assume some slipstreaming is going to happen. The brakes seem like a good start, especially with this kind of really, really sharp turn in this, like a 2-speed turn. We might really have to do that. It's nice that we can bring the suspension out again and again. It's good if we're going to do a load of slipstreaming. It would be nice to get some extra cooling from the tyres and stuff, but that's going to make corners even harder. So I feel like brakes is the one to go for out of this. You do get to choose one at the start of every race. So it's just a solo game, but we are having the Legends module handle everyone else. So we'll have that brakes card that goes into the deck with everything else. So we've got 3 stress, as the map tells us. Our starting heat is 6, 4, 5, 6. But our special event for this race, all drivers start the race with an extra heat card from the reserve in their engine spot. So we've got an extra heat to play with, basically. We've got a little bit more of a buffer for going around corners, for shifting gears more than we would usually. So this is going to be the starting deck. I think that's enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We should have 7 cards. 5 are coming from the deck because 2 are going to be coming from the sponsorship deck. So these are, again, interesting cards, but they are one and done. So we've got a 1 movement, and if we slipstream, we can go 2 extra spaces. And a 4 movement gives us 2 cooling, so maybe we want to get some early heat and get this used. And both these symbols mean once you've used it, it is out of the game. So we've got some cards to get started with there. We then need some weather. So shuffled all up, the weather for this race. Oh, actually, I shouldn't have given myself stress and stuff yet, should I? The weather for this race is actually... Oh, we're racing in the rain. So they need to go back into the deck. I need an extra stress. But if the weather event gets put on any of the corners, that event is slipstreaming is 2 extra spaces. Give this an extra shuffle because I should have put 1 more stress in it. Then we'll have the 5 cards. Oh, and there's a load of stress to start us off with. Right. So the next thing to do, we need some tiles. These have all been shuffled up on the corners that you should just about be able to see. So the corner limit is up by 1 here. So the corner limit is actually going to be 6 rather than 5. For this corner, it is the weather event. So that means for this stretch, it moves to this stretch rather than the corner itself. If we slipstream, it's going to be for 2 more than usual. And this one here, if we slipstream in this stretch, it's going to be 1 more than usual. And that stretch is pretty huge because there aren't as many corners in the Italy track, but wow, they're pretty tight, some of them. So I think that's all the setup, right? We're way back, so it's time for the Legends, I think. So let's have a look at what they're doing. Let's see if any of these angles work out. There we go. It's not going to work out when they move, is it? This will be one for later. So in number 1, is this number 1? Yeah. So number 1 is yellow. Yellow wants to move 10 spaces. Can they move 10 spaces before getting to the corner? Yes, no problem. Oh, the microphone's a bit lower than it normally is. The yellow goes right to the edge of that corner. So behind the line, they try and move this many spaces. Blue wants to move 11. They can't, so they move to the 0, which is the same space. Grey wants to move 15. That's too many, so they actually move to that 2. Black wants to move 12. They can't, so they move to the 1. And then it's us. So what have we got to start this race with? 2 stress, some kind of low numbers. The best number that we've got gives us cooling, so we want to take heat before that, really. So I might say, in the first phase of the turn, I should have done this already, really. We decide how many gears to go up. 1 is free, but 2 you got to take some heat for. I think knowing that we've got that 4 in the hand, we want to take some heat. Put that in the discard pile. To get rid of it, it needs to go into our hand. So that's probably just getting discarded and cycled back through when we've got some heat in there. So playing the cards to move. If we don't want to use that one, we can play 3 cards. Are we going to get anywhere near anyone to be able to slipstream? I've got to move 10 spaces to be able to slipstream. Probably not with 3 cards, so I don't think that one's worth playing. maybe since we've got the stress anyway... Are there one movements in there? I think there are ones. It's been a couple of months since I've played now. I think get one of these stresses out of the way. See what's going on. So, yeah, let's stick with that. So we're moving 5 for sure. And then the stress card is going to give us a 1. So keep discarded until we get one of these. Not moving very much to start this race with. To a very slow start. We do get 1 extra, don't we? Because we're so far back and a cooling. But we haven't got any heat in the hand just yet. So we're moving 6 spaces plus 1 because we were 5th or 6th. We can choose to take a heat to boost to get 1 more card. We might be able to slipstream if we did that. If we got a 2, we'd be able to slipstream and we'd be right in it. I think take a heat. If we move 3, it's going to be a waste. It'll only be bad if we move 4. Actually, it could be bad, couldn't it, if we move... No, if we move 4, we could just choose not to slipstream. Let's see what we get. It's a 4. So, yeah, no slipstream in there. We could still slipstream, but we'd be going over this corner with like a 10 or something, wouldn't we? So, don't want to do that. But I think that's a much better position to be in. So not going to slipstream. We haven't gone around a corner, so we don't have to evaluate that. Discard cards. I don't think we want this. We might want to hang on to this. We can't discard the stress. Keep hold of the 2. We are as a corner. I think just discard that one, because that's no good to us till we've got heat in the hand. So draw back up. Do you think the red car and the blue car had a race? I don't remember that song. I remember the cover on the... single. I mean to sound really old, because I'm not, but I remember seeing the cover. My dad probably had it. I'm sure I would have seen that advert at some point. Green wants to... Oh, I don't know why I'm doing a new card. Whoops. Shuffle that. Green wants to move 17 but can't, so they are moving to 2. So all bunched up quite nicely. I have moved up 1 place. What have we got for this round? So gears. Do we want to shift down? We only want to move. I can really vaguely remember the advert. But I remember, like, there must have been a single of that song. Like, from the advert still. So I remember the drawings from that, I think, more than the advert itself. Because when was it? Was it like early 90s? Maybe it's even too old for me to remember. And it was on videos or something that were, like, taped off the telly. Let's see, the corner is 6, isn't it? We could quite easily stay in 3rd gear. Probably want to shift right down for this, because we don't need any cooling right now. I think just play those cards. Stress is building up, which isn't great. Or, instead of that one, play this one and hope that we can slipstream someone. That sounds good to me. Right, so staying in 3rd gear. And I think we'll play these. So, Legends. What are they going to do? So that's the racing line, isn't it? Yellow's still first. They're past the line, so they are moving the corner amount, which is 6, plus the diamond that they're in. So 7 spaces for yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blue is going to move 8. So just in front. Then it's black next. They are moving 9. And then as for me, I am moving 6. So, not getting the chance to slipstream back here unless we boost. But if we boost, we've got to pay heat for blowing through this corner. So, it's just that we're 4 spaces away from here. And we're not going to get through that corner next time. We've got heat, but what if you draw a 4? Just thinking of boosting. Because I wasn't 5th or 6th, so I don't get that free extra movement. If you draw 4, that's 4 heat taken. I think it's worth the risk. I remember anything from 1962. 1989. It must have been on something taped off the telly. I don't know what from 1989 I would have been watching. I was 1 in 1989. And only for a small portion of 1989. I think maybe go for it. Mind you, got to take a heat to boost. And then we've already moved 6, so every one you go over could be all of your heat spent here. And then things might be terrible. But we slipstream over here and everything's going to be great. We can get the cooling in, but the stress is building up. Go for it. It might not be a 4. You might have seen all the 4s. You can't keep track. Okay. 1 heat to boost, and the number that we're going to boost is 3. So, not as bad as it could be. We've got most of the heat there in the discard pile now. 1, 2. So we can only move 2, because this is blocked off, but we can slipstream. 1, 2. And we can choose not to do this extra 2, because that would push us over. Or actually, if we slipstream past that corner, we don't have to pay for that corner, do we? Is that right? I forgot about the advantage of that. It would have been terrible if we'd drawn a 4. So we're here right now. You would normally slipstream 2 spaces, but I can slipstream 4 spaces, right? I have to pay the penalty for this corner, but slipstreaming... Oh no, you would have to pay the penalty for both corners. It's just that your slipstreaming amount doesn't add to what you're going through. So no, we can't burst through both corners. I've paid me 3 penalty a bit prematurely for this corner. But yeah, we can't go through that. So the way to impress the photographers is to go through the corners too quickly. So the photographers are on this corner in this race just because of the way that the events set things up. So you've got to... Where are they about? Where they've gone. One way is blowing through the corner a bit. Oh, here we go. Cross the corner line thanks to your slipstream move. Speed is irrelevant, so could have done that, but actually couldn't. We would have spun out because we haven't got the heat to spend. Or exceed the speed limit of the press corner by 2 or more. So that would have been a reason to save the heat. We'll just have to not have the sponsorship card, I think. So that is gone, though. We didn't get to use its special ability, but it got spent. Do I want to discard anything else? Probably want to keep the 1. I think I'll keep hold of the 4 as well. Yeah, we'll just draw up 3. 2, a 4, and a 1. And so still to go, we've got Grey wants to move 9. And then Green wants to move 7. So slightly behind, but not by very much. Okay, we're in the lead, but I don't think for long. So I think we need to shift down, and I think I can only go through this corner. No slipstreaming on the special slipstream stretch. I think we just got to go through with 1s, not to risk anything. We've got 1 heat. So if we played a stress and it was anything more than a 2, we would spin out and it would be terrible. So we've got to slow it right down. Down a gear, just play the 2s, and we're first anyway. So 1, 2, racing line's just swapped over. Then I don't want to pay to boost because we're going through the corner. Can't slipstream. We're just going to leave it there. Do I want to discard anything? Maybe I probably want to keep hold of the 2. Because we're coming up to another slow corner in a minute. Going to have a turn not going through the corner and then a turn going through it, I think, because of the stress situation, the heat situation I've left myself into. Stress and heat. Well, there we go. There it all is. We've got brakes. 4, 5. We could just play the brakes next time. And then something to get us through the corner. It's just that the legends are likely to just breeze through all of that. Let's have a look then. Blue is next up. They're past the racing line, so they will move 2 plus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Black, it will move 2 plus nothing. Yellow will move 5. Grey will move 4. And then green will move 2 and not go through the corner. So might fall a bit behind from doing that. There's a good chance that a lot of them are going to go through this corner as well. Black isn't going to. And green definitely can't. But hopefully they hold each other up enough for us to catch up a little bit. So let's have a look. We're 5 away from the corner. I've at the moment got to play 2 cards. I've got no heat. I could just leave it up to stress. I've still got 2 4s in my hand, so there's a good chance they're not in the deck. Is there 3 of each number in the deck? I think there's 3. So could just play the stress. Hope that we don't end up with more than 5 across those 2 cards. It's just if we end up really far away, that might really mess us up. Could switch down and just do the 5, but then how do we get exact for the 3 later? We could do the 4. We've got a heat, couldn't we? Like, just to get through it. Yeah, cooldown only applies if the heat's in your hand. So you've got to wait for it to cycle back through your deck, unfortunately. So I've been a bit kind of cavalier with it, but I've still got to wait. That's why you might want to discard a load of things. Like, if I don't need this 2 now, I think I've already chosen not to discard anything, though. It's just if we play these 2 stress and it ends up as more than 5, we'll just spin out because we can't go through the corner that quickly. So I think I'm going to switch down a gear. Right down to 1. Got amazing cooling in first gear, but I can't use it. I can do 1 or 5 from breaks. I'm going to choose 5. First, though, we got to see how everyone else moves. It's just if I slipstream. What if we move 4 and hope we can slipstream? I don't think we'll be able to. But if we can, the slipstream extra steps don't count towards the corner penalty. So I would only be going 1 too fast. I could slipstream through the corner just taking 1 heat penalty. And I don't think it's too bad if we don't get the slipstream. I think I'm going to choose to play a 4. Okay. So blue is up first. Blue is going to try and move. They're past the racing line. And they're going to try and move 6 spaces. They can. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Past the corner. Yeah, that's my slipstream. That's my slipstream possibility's gone then. So yellow is going to try and move 3 plus 2, 5. And yeah, I would have been able to slipstream if I had played the 5. But then I would have needed 2 heat to go through the corner, so it wouldn't have happened anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, unfortunately for me. I'm going to play another 4 next time and just be slowed down, I think. We've got the breaks. Okay, discards. Do I want to discard the 2? Because I could go up to second gear and play these as a 3, so we don't go through this corner too quickly. We've got a 4 already. Yeah, and then you're going up a bit, aren't you? And if we discard the 2 though, we would then draw and we can shuffle up all this heat and start to get it cooled down back on the engine ready to use again. I think that's the way to go. Maybe. So let's have a look. 2 to draw. There's a heat. There's a heat. So if we stayed in first gear, we would get rid of both of them. You got 3 cooling in first gear. Legends still haven't finished. So he's past the line. He's moving 3 plus 0. Right behind me. He isn't past the line. So black's going to try and move 11. That's too many. It would put him past the corner. So they move to the 0 diamond instead. Yeah, slipstreaming is 2 extra as well. I could have slipstreamed for miles. And finally, green is past the racing line, but on this corner. So they're moving 2 + 1 is 3. It does get them past the corner, but they're not going to get past this corner next time. So we're not last. We started out 5th place. We're 4th now. That's summit, isn't it? Okay. Do I want to stay in first gear and get rid of both of these heats? And we could play stress. It's just that stress might make us skip past loads of the heat. It's just that you can't discard this stress. It clogs everything up. We could play the brakes at 5 speed, knowing that there will be a heat. We'd be healing the heat and then putting 2 straight back in. But I could knowingly go through the corner 2 quicker and try to slipstream somebody. I don't feel like it. Maybe I'll be able to. I'm not going to be able to slipstream grey. Maybe black if they don't move too much. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. Hey, John, how's it going? We're on our first of 3 laps. I'm going to stay in first gear. Yes. Blue is first, and blue and yellow are just going to charge off. Blue's going to move 10 spaces. Yellow's going to move 12 spaces. Black is behind the corner, so they're moving 3 + 3. No, I don't think it's going to be enough. Well, I think it's going to be too much for me to be able to catch up. I'm moving 5. But what's the order we do this in? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Too slow to be able to slipstream. Just the heat to boost would be my last heat. So then we can apply the cooling. We don't get extra cooling or speed because we weren't 5th or 6th. So can't slipstream. Cooling, I've got 3 cooling, but I've only got 2 heat in my hand. So they go away. Can't slipstream. Evaluate the corner. I went through a 3 corner at 5 speed. So 2 of that heat goes straight back in the discard pile. And I think we don't discard anything. 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. So we've got some 2s. We've got some more heat. Got to crank it up to at least 2nd gear, though, next time. Maybe even 3rd. We've got a card, haven't we? One of the sponsorship card helps us cool down a bit, because this is just a massive stretch. I can't stay in 2nd gear. I'm in 1st at the moment. Right, grey is behind this corner. They're going to move 3 + 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have caught up with me. And then green isn't past the racing line, the driver's line, the legends line. So they're going to try and move 13 spaces. That's too many, so they move to the 1 diamond instead. And that'll be another round. So, do we take the heat? I think we've got to take a heat to jump a gear. We could move 1 for free, but I think we need to get in 3rd gear. That gives me no cooling, though. But I just don't want to leave things with me getting too far behind. We could have the cooling and then just jump to 4th gear next time. No, it's just if we slipstream, which I don't know how we will, I think they'll move far faster than me, whatever I do. But if we can slipstream, we get an extra 1. Which is something, isn't it? So we can play 3 cards in 3rd gear. I've got a 4, I've got a 2, but I think I'm going to go for a 4 and 2 stress. Get that out of the hand as well. I hope that it's better than 2. That's all I can really do. Okay, legends. Yellow's miles in front. Can they move 15 spaces? Absolutely. Can blue move 14? Yes. Can black move 17? Wow. Yeah, that was my only chance of slipstreaming someone. That's not happening, is it? So what is that? They're moving to space 15. And then it's me. I'm moving 4. First stress card is a 1. And then the next one is another 1. Oh, dear. Could have just stayed in 2nd gear and played the 4 and the 2 for that. Would have ended up drawing these ones, though. So, in one way, they are gone. Championship is part of the base game. So, it comes with Like, well, it comes with all of this stuff. This is all that's come out so far. So I did a playthrough that's just the normal game, so you don't have most of this stuff. There's no event, there's no weather, there's no stuff on the corners. The Legends is technically an extra module, but it's the way you play it solo. Just these cards that dictate how much they move. And all the upgrade cards. So in the base game, every player has got these 3 starting upgrades. So an extra heat and a 5-speed and a 0-speed. So just the basic game is without any of this extra stuff. But you can turn on module by module if you like. The championship is kind of all of the things turned on, and you play it over several races as well, like adding up your points. So I think 1961 and 62 are 3 races each, and then 63 is 4 races, I think. And then you can shuffle up the race cards and make your own championship out of a mix of them. I think I did win the other championship pretty comfortably, but yeah, the bots on straights can move so much more a lot of the time, but they can also very easily get stuck behind on corners if they just don't happen to move enough. Yeah, I've been a bit unlucky so far. I've probably gambled where I shouldn't in one of the places, losing more of my heat and kind of my flexibility to go around these incredibly tight corners. And also, that is pretty unlucky as well. 2 of these stress cards, and they both came out as 1s. So I am moving a grand total of 6 spaces there. I can't boost because I've got no heat, because I've put myself in that position. I think I'll discard the 2, because I want to move more than that. But we're going to find a lot of heat coming back out, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Oh, there we go. 4, 4, 3, 2. So we could move a fair bit next time. Okay, grey is still to go. They need to move 13, so in front. And then green hasn't gone past this corner, so they are moving 3 plus 0. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So green is kind of probably going to be where I am. I don't think you need to remember much. Like this is the card. It's one card that handles everybody. And the bots have got 2 rules. So there's also there's boards that you can use, but for the sake of zooming in, there's a board that holds all the championship cards. There's a board that holds the Legends cards, and it also has their 2 rules. So if they're behind the racing line, they try and move this many spaces, the number on their helmet. If that would push them past the corner, they move to the space on the diamond in their column instead. If they're already past the Legends line when they start, they move the value of the corner plus the number in their diamond. That's all you need to know with them. There's nothing to really keep track of. Maybe who hasn't gone, but it's usually it's the ones that are still behind you. Hopefully you've moved on your turn. Right. So I haven't got my cooling card, but we have ended up with some stuff that isn't heat. Now I want to play my stress and hope that it's more than 2, but my sponsorship card that gives me cooling without having to slow down and get it that way hasn't got this symbol on it. So when you do anything with a plus, you draw cards from your deck until you've got one of these speed symbols on there. My sponsorship card doesn't have that, so we would find it, discard it. My perhaps main way of cooling is gone until we go through the deck again. We will get a cooling for being so behind, though. I think go for it. Play the stress. Move up to 4th gear. Moving up 1 gear is fine. And yeah, we'll get an extra speed and we'll get an extra cooling for being in 5th or 6th place. So the Legends, they're still behind the line. So yellow wants to move 17. They're only 10 spaces away. So they actually move to the 2 diamond instead. Blue wants to move 12. And they can. Black wants to move 14. And they can. Grey wants to move 16, and they can. Just a lot less chance for any kind of drafting, isn't it? But I kind of... Yeah, it would perhaps have been wise to save the heat to be able to blast through this corner instead. The really tight corner, especially because it had the press there, and blowing through that corner would have got me a sponsorship card that maybe could keep me in, but it's only the first lap, so we'll see how it goes. I am moving 11 spaces plus heat we just discard, my special sponsorship card we just discard, 3. So what is that? That is 14. So that's something. Still a fair way behind, but maybe Grey won't make it through, and we can catch up there a little bit. So they all go into the discard. I'm going to discard the 2. I can choose to discard anything. Can't slipstream. Oh, I get a cooling, don't I, because I was so far behind. And I do move 1 extra space because I'm 5th or 6th. I could choose to boost because I've got the heat now and draw another card, but the most it's ever going to be is a 4. It's not going to put me in a slipstream position, and I think we should try and conserve some heat. So there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then shuffle it back up. So not actually. We've got a couple of heat in hand, but unfortunately, that's the big numbers blown through. Could really do with drawing the breaks card, maybe, a nice 5. We can play 4 cards. Does mean we're not getting rid of heat while we're doing that, but might be something to do. Have I moved everybody? No, green is still to move. Yeah, but it's still my turn drawing cards. Let's leave it there. And we've got the breaks. There we go. So green is going to move 18. Leave them there. So we're okay. Keeping our position so far. So we can stay in 4th gear. The most we can move. Can we move 13 to put us right by the corner for next time? I can move 10 and then stress. But if that card comes out as a 4, we would spin out and go nowhere. So I think we might as well we'll still get a cooling. I think we got to go a bit short on this one. Because yeah, if we drew a 4 card, we would be going past this corner at, what, like 8 over it? So I have to take 8 heat. If you can't take the heat, you got to take extra stress. You spin out. I think you take 2 stress if you're in high gear and you spin out, and you end up behind the corner anyway. So it's not worth spinning out, especially when you're a mile behind. So yeah, we'll stay in 4th gear and we'll play those cards. The bots. What have we got? Blue. Oh yeah, they're past the Legends line, so blue is going to move 6 plus 1. And this modifier makes it easier for me. It also applies to the bots as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blue is going to be hard to catch up with. Black is moving 8. Yellow is moving 7. Grey is moving 6. Oh, unfortunately, that just puts him over. Unfortunately for me. That is the lowest they can move, though, before that corner. And I am moving 11. I get an extra 1 because I'm 5th or 6th, and I get a cooling. We're going to have to really shift down the gears to get through this corner, aren't we? Can't discard either of these. Can't choose to discard heat or stress. 2, 3, 4, 5. Get a hand of 7. We got 2 and a 3. We might have to take heat and just shift right down to 2nd with these corners coming up. Let's see that. Green wants to go 19. They can't, so they end up with 3. They would have got in front of me then. But we're a bit too greedy. Okay, so we've got a load of stress. A couple of heat. We have got a 5 there. So we could kind of just take the heat going through the corner. It could be a 4, though. If it's a 4, I don't think we can handle going through this corner. Like, if I was to play we need to shift down 1, don't we? Need to shift down at least 1. Do we take a heat to shift down 2? We'd get an extra cooling. I think we do. Just to play this 5, get us through the corner. It's probably not going to end up with me slipstreaming, unfortunately. Yeah. Again, what we're going to have, we're going to have 3 heat in there. So this could be a 4. But we would use up all of our heat if it does end up being a 4. I think save your heat for the... Yeah, save your heat for the photographers. Try go through this corner a bit faster. Okay, yeah. Second gear, and we'll have to be happy with that. The legends. Blues first. They are moving 4. 2, 3, 4. Black is moving 3. Yellow is moving 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So unfortunately, they all went past the corner. Grey isn't past the line. Tries to move 12, but he's only 8 away, so he moves to the 1 diamond instead. And then it's us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're lower than the corner. Oh, we get an extra 1, don't we? Because we're second to last. And we get a cooling for being second to last and a cooling for being in second gear. So a bit more going back on the engine now. We could go through that corner at 5 next time if we can get the numbers to do it. We've got 3 heat to allow it, and we'd get a sponsorship card for going through the corner too fast. But the cards that I have, it's not in my control because I've just got 3 stress. Can't choose to discard any of them. It's going to be in whatever these 4 cards are. Haven't got the brakes, have they? They've gone. High numbers. What did we want? 5 would put us just past the corner. I don't know. If we play the 4, that's not a great deal. Let's see. Green is moving 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So just behind me now. Ooh. Could just play 2 stress. It's just if the total is more than 5. I have got a heat I can get rid of. So if the total was more than 6, we have got 1 of the 4s in my hand. And I feel like, I've got 2 of the 4s in my hand, so I think we'd be okay, right? We definitely get a cooling. So I think 6 would be okay, but hopefully it wouldn't come to that. I'd like a 2 to come up. Stay in second gear. And just got to cross everything. Right. So blue is past the line. They're moving 6. They're through the corner. Black isn't past the line. Wants to move to the 2 diamond because he can't move 16. Yellow wants to move 11. Can't, so they move to 0. Grey is doing this corner. 2 + 1 is 3. I could slipstream that as well if I get the right amount. If I move 5 or 6, I could slipstream. So let's see. Oh, we've got this as well. Could we have played the... We could have shifted down and played the 4, but stress is the gamble. So we're playing 3 and... Skip the heat. 4. That's really unlucky. So, the choice now is... Do we boost? That costs a heat. So if the boost... Oh, we've got a cooling coming in. From being second to last. Oh no, we have got an extra speed, haven't we? That's okay, we don't need to boost. We don't need to boost. Right, we're moving 4. That's actually not so unlucky because we do get 1 extra speed because we are so... sadly far behind. And we get an extra cooling, but I don't have anything else to cool. We are now behind this car. So we can slipstream 2, 4 spaces because of the weather event in this stretch. We were in this stretch at the point the slipstream started, so I think we're fine with that. But we did go through a 2 corner at speed 3, 4, 5. The slipstream doesn't count towards that, but we did go through this corner too quickly, so we got to take 3 heat to make up the difference. Between 5 and 2. I don't think I want to discard anything. I'm going to hang on to them 4s. Now, we also went through this corner at a pretty reckless speed, and the press have taken a photo of us. I think they go straight to our hand, right? Yeah, straight to our hand. So we get a sponsorship card like the two that we started off with. And what is this? Lord & Co. TB, just a 6-speed card. Not great for this corner, but you know, it does mean we're drawing one less card as well. I don't want to discard the 4s though. I want them for the big stretch. We've got a 2. Yeah, I've only got 1 heat, so I could at most go through that corner at a 4. So maybe we just shift down and go 4 next time. There's still cards to come though. Who hasn't gone? Grey had already been there because I slipstream past them. Green hasn't gone. So they are moving 2 plus 2 is 4. They've not made it through the corner a second time. That's all the bot cards now. It's being behind a corner that can really hold you up. I think 2 corners behind and it's really, really tough to catch up. Marty just burying himself in his little blanket. Right. It's just going down to first gear would be so bad. It's just, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure you can't go through your discard pile. I don't know what these cards are. I would love to stay in second gear just because we don't then have to like very slowly work our way back up when this massive stretch starts. Do we do a 2 and a stress? If we draw a 1, that's fine. If we draw a 2, we pay a heat, that's also fine. Anything more than that, and it's terrible. I think 2 stress would be even riskier. This is where it could all blow up. If we sneak through this corner while still in second gear, I think we've got a good chance. If we spin out, I don't know if we've got any chance. Stay in second. Shame I haven't got the heat right now to get rid of. Okay, blue is going to scream ahead. They're the only one that's through that corner. Oh, actually, 11. I think the fewest they ever move is 10. So they move to 26. Yellow isn't past the corner. They're moving 3 plus 0 to 3, but they will shoot off next time. Black is moving 4. And I am moving, not in 5th or 6th this time, so don't get the extra space. We want a 1 or a 2. It's a 1. Perfect. 2, 3. Don't have to pay any heat, so we could pay the heat to jump to 4th gear next time. Phew. Okay, do we want to discard anything? I don't think so. We've got 4s and 6s. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 cards coming in. A 4 and a stress. We could move a fair bit next turn, couldn't we? Grey is past the Legends line. They're moving 3 plus 2 is 5. Not past the corner. And green is still doing this corner. 2 plus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, suddenly, like, they are potentially going to move like 17 spaces. And we might not be able to deal with that. We could move 18 next time. Haven't got any heat, so I want to hold on to that one probably. Right. So, pay the heat to shift 2 gears. And I think this is where sponsorship card 6444. Forget the stress for now. Maybe we can slipstream and go 3 spaces. I think that's the play. Blue is going to go miles in front at 16. Yellow is moving 13. I think we're going to shoot past them. Black is moving 18. Maybe slipstream. So what are we moving? 10. We're moving 18. I think we'll end up right behind them, right? 18. So we can slipstream past them. 1, 2 normally, but 3 because of the stretch event. You might want to stay behind them so they're slipstreamable at the corner, but I think they're going to shoot in front of me in a future turn. So the sponsorship card is gone for good, but the others go to me discard. I think I want to hold on to the 4. The heat is about to get shuffled back in. So we need that one and then 3 more. Because we could stay in a high gear and still get rid of a couple of heat if it ends up in our hands. So that'd be all right, wouldn't it? I think as my... Depending on what you're watching it on, I didn't want to be in the way of the playboard all the time, but I suppose it's just like... It's only a deck, isn't it? Like if we zoom in and stuff. I think like the watermark's over my face on some things, depending on what you're watching on. That's why I never put it on that side. Daft watermarks. 2, 3. Right. So that's me. And we've just got grey and green to go, haven't we? Grey is going 3 plus 3. And green is going 3 plus 1. They have both made it through the corner, so they're a bit behind. Yeah, if green hadn't gone through that corner then, they would be massively behind. So we're 16 away from the corner. I have got 2 heat cards, so I'm quite happy, actually, to play the 4. I think 4-3, stress, stress. Hopefully we get more than 2s. Maybe. Sheffield Darwin's Journey is a great game solo. Is it? I haven't opened it yet. It's still sealed downstairs, but it is winning the vote by... I think it's pretty clear of all of the other options. I would like... I'm not sure how it's going to be next week. I'm not sure if there's going to be time for any live streams, because we got to do something. Maybe Monday, but I haven't played it, so it might be a bit of a shaky stream if I end up doing that on Monday. But yeah, it's just a bit more limited. I've got some recorded things to go up that I'm pretty excited about. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, let's go for that. So stay in 4th gear. See if we can go 16 spaces. We're not in any danger of spinning out, I don't think. But I think we might fall behind again. Blue wants to move 15, but that's too many, so they move to the 2. And then it's me. So we are moving 4, 3, 4. 4. That's not too many, is it? 15? That's pretty good. I don't want to boost or anything like that. Can't slipstream. I mean, the perfect thing would have been to be right here and then slipstream 2 further, so we're right by the corner. But that's pretty good going, I think. So, no extras because we're not 5th or 6th. Then do your symbols. Cooling. We've got 2 cooling, so we've got a couple of heat to play with. No slipstreaming. Didn't go through a corner. Do I want to discard that too? I don't think I do. The sponsorship card is gone. Now you can, of course, I could have just kept discarding this and saved it for a future race, but you don't start with it in your hand in a future race. It starts here in your deck. But I want to make use of them. So we need 6 cards. And we're probably going to have to shift down gear a bit, but we have got some heat now in the engine. And we've got a bit in our hand as well. It's a 6 corner though, so we can go through it a little bit quickly. Black wants to move 10, that's no problem. Yellow wants to move 18, catching them up a bit further. Grey wants to move 17, and green only wants to move 11. There we go. So somehow, against all odds, I mean, I don't feel like it's staying there. We've lost that 6 now, but against all odds, we are back in front. Means no slipstreaming though. So, gear. We definitely want to shift down 1. I mean, it's a 6 corner, isn't it? We could... we could take a heat to shift down 2, and that will give us a cooling. And then we could just play 4 and 2. I think that might be the thing to do. Gives us the same amount of heat to play with, because there's no other way of cooling when we're in front as well. That means we don't take heat going through the corner either. Save the heat, try and get heat for going through this corner too quickly. So they go over here. The end of the game trigger is it's the number of laps. So we've got 3 laps in this race. So this is now the final lap. I think that's what we do. Shift down 2 by paying a heat. And then we're first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The value of the corner is 6, so there's going to be no penalty. A cooling comes from the gear that we're in, so still got 2 heat on the engine. Maybe build another one up if we still play. Yeah, if we play 2 cards, I'd like to move 5 next time. So that we go through the corner and we'd get a sponsorship card. We'll have to see what we draw though. I don't want to boost. We can't afford the heat and the risk in that. I don't know why I'm putting discards on the top of my deck. No one around to slipstream. Did go through a corner, but we went through a 6 corner at speed 6, so that's fine. And do I want to discard things? I want to move exactly 5. So drawing another 1 might not be bad. No, we're just going to draw 3 and hope that we get a 2 or a 1 in there. We've got a 1, and we've got the brakes as well. Good to hang on for the straight at the end and just use it as a 5. Because, yeah, we could shift up even to 3rd gear. We'd miss out on the cooling, which is unfortunate. But we could even shift up to 3rd gear, 3, 4, 5. Take us just past the corner. Oh, no, we don't want that because then we won't have the cooling to get the 3rd heat. Do we play stress and hope for a 2? But if it's more than a 2, we're ruined. Or we shift down and just play the 5. And that's the 5 you need, isn't it? Still, let's see what the legends are doing before we worry any more about that. Blue is moving 6, 7. Yellow is moving 8. Black is not past the line. They want to move 14, but they can't, so they move 1. Grey wants to move 16, but they can't, so they end up at the 2. And green wants to move 18 and can, and end up there. So they're not going through the corner next turn either, so I think we're safe from last for a bit, I think. Still first for now. Right. So shift down, play the 5. Is, I think, the play that we're doing. I would love to slipstream through, but it's not happening. For 5. Then spend your symbols. I've got 3 cooling on here, but I've only got 1 heat in my hand, so just 1 goes back on. Slipstream, nope. Pay the heat. I went through a 2 corner at speed 5, so we've got to pay what is unfortunately all of the heat. Into the discard. But we again blew through this corner too quickly. The photographers are impressed and we get a sponsorship card. It's another 4 with 2 cooling. Good if we draw things. I mean, I don't want to play 7 next time. Can't afford the heat going through the corner too quickly. Do I discard the 1s? I want to play 6, basically, to put us right before the corner. Discard the 1s. So we're drawing 3 more cards here. We've not ended up with a 2, but we can do 3 and 3, can't we? Yeah, shift up next time, play 3 and 3. I think, well, it's all we can really do. Blue is past the line, so they're moving 3, 4, 5. Caught up with me. They're probably going to get in front. Yellow are not past the line. They can't move 16, so they'll move to the 2. Black is on this corner, so 6 plus nothing. Grey is the same. Green is behind the line, wants to move 14, but they can't, so they move to the 1 instead. And I think I'm going to stick to the plan. Not play the stress. Move up a gear. We'll still get rid of this heat as well, so we'll have 1 for this. We have not got the heat to blow through this corner. Save the heat to jump up to 4th gear maybe in the future. I don't know. We'll see what we draw. Right, so play cards. 6 puts us right up before the corner. The downside of being in front, there's no chance of slipstreaming because you're ahead. Cooling, we've got 1 cooling and I've got a heat in my hand, so that's all right. Then Oh yeah, Legends. He wants to move 13, but can't, so moves to the 1. Yellow is doing this corner. 2 plus 1 is 3. Black is ahead of the Legends line, so he's doing 2 plus 2 is 4. They haven't gone through the corner. Ooh. Gives us a bit of breathing room. Not really for first place, but... And you're behind the racing line. You want to move 11, but can't, so move to the 0. And you're at this corner. Green moves 6, 7, 8, 9. So they've caught up. Quite a bit. Even if they were wacky races models, it would. I wanted to try and find... Like, they seem to be collector's items now because they're so old. But I always remember Micro Machines. I think they're slightly too big. I think I remember seeing in the BGG forums. But yeah, I'd like to stock it with Micro Machines. They're probably in my mum's loft somewhere. Or they were given to a charity shop at some point. Which, fair enough. They probably haven't been used for decades, probably. Unless my brother had them. That's everybody, isn't it? Okay. So, why have I got these 3s? I've just played them. Oh, you didn't do the rest of the turn. We've got the 4, haven't we, at worst? I don't want to shift down, though. We might need the 1. Let's not discard anything. Okay. Very confused then. We've got 2 cards to play. We will be able to cool 1, won't we? If we stay in second gear. So we've only got 1 heat at the moment. I think we move 4. Take the heat in the cooling, then we'll still have a heat next time to be able to play an extra card to be able to shift up gear, I think. And if we draw more heat next time, we've got cooling from this one. I think it's all we can really do. Yep, stay in second gear. Move 4. No slipstreaming. Be nice if they'd just gotten past me earlier, because they'll probably get past me now. Cooling we've got from being in second gear, so that goes in there. But we did go through a 3 corner at speed 4, so a heat comes back out. Discarding, I do not want a 1. Can't discard the stress. So there is a heat, but we can get rid of it with this. So we are... Where's the race line? So that's at like the 9. When you've gone to the 9, you've gone past it. So I need 25 spaces. It's obviously not going to happen next turn. Blue. I don't know. They might be able to do it by next turn. But I think we've got a very good chance of being second. We've still got a chance of being first. I think we'll be okay beyond that. We'll see. Because it might shake out as well. Like, I think this is how the other championship worked out. I think we did win 2 of the races. I think. But also, like, Blue might just do terribly next time. And so their championship points are a bit pointless. Because, yeah, they haven't improved their decks or anything. And it's like everyone's in the same position in all of the races, really. The only thing that changes is your starting position. Changed at the start of the race based on your standing in the championship. But everyone gets the same, choice of upgrades. You get, I think if you're further back, you get first pick. But in a solo game, of course, doesn't matter, does it? So we got 1, 2, 3 cards coming in. So that's 2 heat we can get rid of, but that's not a lot of movement, is it? We're going to have to rely on stress here. We're first, so no slipstreaming. So yeah, pay a heat to be able to... I suppose we'll have this cool heat to be able to boost as well. So we could boost this time, couldn't we? Yeah. So we will play the 4 and the stress. Because I don't think we've got any sponsorship cards left in there. We have got the breaks. It would be a shame to discard them. But yeah, I think we just deal with that. So we are moving 4, 5... Another stress just gets discarded. So that's good. We've moved past that. We've got rid of that heat. 8. 11. So where does that put us? 23. This card gives us 2 cooling. And I think we should boost. It's one heat for whatever this is. 3. And I would say discard the 2 and just try and get to those 4s. So that 4, the sponsorship one, is gone. Five, 6, 7. Whole new hand here. Just from clearing out that stress, isn't it? We've got a 1, a 2, a bit of stress. There we go. 4, 5, 1, 2. What do we need to move? 11. Well, we can just about do it, can't we? But if someone goes further than you in the same round, they win. See how far blue moves. So because they're behind the corner this time, 0 is helpful. That's the best result we could hope for. Although moving 10 next time would have been fantastic too. They might move 19. So they are moving 3 plus 0. 1, 2, 3. And then they'll have their big move next time. I don't think a move is going to take them from there past the finish line, to be honest. I think it's actually turned out well. I don't know why I've discarded that, because everyone else needs to move. Yellow is behind this line. They can't move 12, so they'll move to the 1. Black is next. Then no data. It looks fine. I don't know why the YouTube window is telling me no data. It seems to be fine now. Black is moving 3 plus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grey, because for the bots as well, you don't have to worry about slipstreaming, you don't have to worry about boosting, cooling, any of that stuff. They're just moving by these numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then green is the same. They are moving 3. So green, yeah, just could not catch up after that. Was it like lap 1 they managed to fall behind? And yeah, just haven't managed to get back in it since then. Okay then, I think it's possible. There's nothing else we can do here. We've got a heat, miraculously, so we can boost as well. But I don't think blue is getting near us. So we're staying in 4th gear. Somehow, with all of that heat gotten at the start, managed to kind of even it out a little bit for the rest of it. So we're still first. So 5, 9, 11, 13 is going to put us over there. Oh, actually, I don't think you can... You can't slipstream. Can you boost after past the finish line? There's definitely no slipstreaming. Slipstreaming is not allowed. Disregard speed limits in corners at the end. I think you can still boost, but I think it's okay. We can boost 4 more spaces. I think usually by the end of the race, I've got no heat, so I can't boost. So how far is blue moving? 17. It's a pretty high one, but it's not going to be enough, is it? That's going to put them on space 19. Oh, so I need to go on... I think you wait until it, in case everyone's gone past you, but they're not going to get past me this turn, are they? Yellow is moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Black is moving 4. Because we need the standings for everyone else for the championship. 2, 3, 4. Green is moving 5. Didn't make it past the corner. They are still going to be stuck behind here. And so, we don't need to think about turns anymore and discarding and all of that good stuff. We'll still have the brakes for next time. And then blue is going to move 18. That's going to put them past the finish line. Yellow is going to only move 11. Black is moving 16. Grey 14. And green is just moving 5. They finally made it past the corner, though. I don't think their luck's going to turn around in this last turn. So blue came second. And then black moves 17. Yellow moves 15. Grey moves 13. So they're keeping their positions, really. And green's only moving 10. Come on, green. I don't know if green would even make it over. Everyone else has crossed the finish line, though. So I think we can safely assume... Well, can we assume they would have crossed the finish line eventually? I think whatever they would do, it might take them 2 more rounds, but I think we should assume that they can finish the race at some point. So they come a respectable 6th. I mean, out of all the cars in the world, that's a pretty decent position, isn't it? So race 1 was in Italy. and the points. So you can see like the positions that we're in. I'm covering up with the cars now. But you can see the points that everyone got for their positions there. So we came first with 9 points there. Blue came in second with 6 points. Black came in third for 4 points. Yellow gets 3. Grey, Marty's sponsored car, just gets 2 points. And green, just the 1 point. But it could all change. So there we go. That is the start of the 1962 championships. I hope you enjoyed that, and that you'd like to see some more racing, because this is just the right kind of length of game to fit in on a night stream for me. Maybe like we could have, I think if they're not all 3-lap races, if the other 2 races were 2-lap races, we might be able to get both done next week. Oh, actually, I can't. I'm not here on Thursday, am I? I'll find a day. If we have to do it at the weekend, yeah, we could finish the race, because at some point this April, we're having the last episode of Hadrian's Wall. Heartbreaking. But Legacy of You is going to start off at some point. You've got all the other voted games going on in there. But there we go. Like, I hope if you haven't seen Heat before, it's shown off all the stuff decently well. There's, of course, like, in terms of the upgrades, we saw 4 cards at the start of the game. There are a billion. Like, there's plenty of duplication between those cards, but there's loads and loads of different things in there. Look at these tyres. They make you draw 2 cards, but they increase the limit of the corner by 2. That would have probably been cool to have. A bit risky, though. Even if you can bump up a 2 corner by 2, drawing 2 random cards to go through it could just be absolutely disastrous. But I absolutely love Heat. Hopefully it's coming around in stock more, because yeah, it gets a bit high prices sometimes when it pops up on eBay. But yeah, it's just between prints whenever it's like that. It is getting reprinted as far as I know. But absolutely love it. So good. As said before in the other videos, thought I wasn't going to be too fussed about this. Thought, well, everyone's going on about it. I'll play it. It looks nice. But yeah, I've enjoyed it so much. Really enjoyed it multiplayer. But yeah, I like the kind of low upkeep of the bots. You can make this harder as well, and you can, I'm not sure exactly how it puts it in the rule, but you can give them extra steps, like whatever they would move like around corners, add 1 to it, like if you're finding that you're consistently beating them. But yeah, I think like we did kind of comfortably win that in the end. But I would say for most of the race, it did not seem that way whatsoever. And we were clawing. I feel like for about 2 laps, we were clawing to try and stop being last. We were just getting all the bonuses for being in 5th place, weren't they? But that's kind of the cool catch-up mechanism. Like, if you've screamed into the lead, chances are you've taken a load of heat to do that, so you haven't got as much to play with. So that will even things out a little bit in there. And you might just end up taking some crazy risks. If you're just that far behind anyway, you might just need to take the risks and hope that they pay off. I think like around these corners, it really paid off in like the 2nd lap, didn't it? But there we go. Yeah, I'll be back to finish the championship at some point. I will be back live though tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow at 4 p.m, is it? Tomorrow afternoon. I'll just check now I've said that. I believe it's 4 p.m. We're playing Atiwa anyway. 4 p.m, yes. We're playing Uwe Rosenberg's, well, not latest now. Latest is Oranienburger Canal, isn't it? But a very recent one came out at Essen, and I'll be playing it solo for the first time. We've played it multiplayer before, but yeah, interested to see how it goes for solo and see if we can get some lovely bats. And then on Sunday, an enormous double playthrough of Aeon Trespass Legacy, a great big boss battling, dice chucking, storytelling kind of game. If you're into those, there's effectively 2, like it's a double length playthrough. There's a great big battle, there's a ton of story with plenty of story time with Rach. Rach graciously offered to, well, agreed to read out a load of the story in it. And yeah, hopefully there'll be some more story time with Rach in the future when we can find time. Look out for the schedule. Like, if I can manage a stream on Monday, I'll probably do the schedule on Sunday instead, just so like there's a bit of notice for it. But yeah, look out for all of that stuff, and I'll hopefully see you for Atua tomorrow. If you can't make it, it'll be available to watch later, like all of these are. If you can support the channel, that would be amazing. Hey, you help it exist. There's Patreon there, there's Ko-fi over there, links in the description, I hope. But thank you so much for joining me, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow for some bat care, and hopefully Marty will be in here as well to accompany us too. See you later, everyone. Bye, bye, bye.